what did you expect? Welcome, Sonny. Make yourself at home. Marry my daughter. You've got to remember that these are just simple farmers. These are people of the land. The common clay of the New West. You know. Morons.
And welcome to Morons Make Sense. I am your host, Moron Sam Munoz, and I'm here with my fellow morons, Uplester Peñalosa II, and Akam, I'm always on strike, Arturo.
Okay.
Which is why he's actually here. And he's not working right now, right?
Yeah.
So you took this job because you're not making any money or anything like that. Anyways, I
work. I have a job. Thanks.
That's not what I... Oh, man. Why you gotta make me feel bad?
You should go on strike, Sam.
I should.
Voluntary
Anyway,
strike, please.
What we're talking about today is the recent WGA and SAG strike that's happening and its impact on the movie industry. We're all movie fans, as you may know, if you've been following our episodes. And I think, we all know this is going to be a big impact. It's already having an impact. There's been some news of some movies that might get delayed and whatnot. But, yeah.
Start off with
let's start with the writer's strike.
the nitty gritty. Well,
So,
That's where they all began.
The writers,
yeah.
Go for it.
I was just gonna say, like, for me, because we're always, I feel like, those of us that follow movies and shows closely, we're always tend to be a little bit more aware of things that are happening, and this is the first time because we've had strikes happen in the past.
Yep.
It's happened, multiple times, and this is the first time I felt that like people that aren't even in the movie scene were asking me about it. And
really?
heard
Wow.
things and like this and that have
I wanna
caught.
hang out
I've been
with
getting
your
a lot
friends.
of publicity.
Yes, especially with how long it was lasting, and things of that nature. I know a big thing that I feel got a lot of people to see or become aware of it was the fact that during the shooting of Deadpool 3, which is currently happening, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman.
Not anymore. It's actually delayed.
Yeah. Now, yes, correct.
Yeah.
When the writer's strike was happening, it was still going, but because Ryan Reynolds is a writer on the film, he wasn't allowed to improvise on set, which has always been a thing.
You're right.
Yeah.
So I remember hearing a lot of people come out because that just made the news and the waves,
Gets the people talking.
But this originated with the writer's strike, and I passed it on to you to
yeah.
a little bit more on that.
Do you know the details, Sam?
I do know a little bit of the details, and I
for all
want
the
to.
Mooblesters out there.
No, I know.
I said Mooblesters,
what's going on.
Not the Moblesters.
The Mooblesters.
Bro.
I want to give a shout out to who probably doesn't need a shout out because he's way more famous than us on YouTube. Dan Murrell is my source in all of this. He's a great critic. He's a great critic on YouTube.
Is that the guy who the video you sent us?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did a video when the writer's strike started, and he went through all the things that are going on with the writer's strike, what the writers want, what the producers want, and so on. So everything I know comes from him. And he did another great video that's after SAG went on strike as to, all the impact that might happen. And he kind of goes over a lot of things. And I highly recommend his two videos. Dan Murrell, great guy to follow if you love movies. He's a great critic.
Linked up above in the corner.
I'll put him in the description.
Because no one won't do it.
It'll be in the description.
But anyway, so a lot of this came up from, funny enough, we talked about AI. AI is a big issue here, and one of the things is that the writers wanted to get was like assurance that AI was not going to be used to write scripts because that takes away jobs, and so on. So producers didn't want to give that up. That's one of the things. Among other things, one of them was like in the way in which the industry works now with writers. So it used to be that a show would last for like 25 or more episodes, right?
That's
Remember?
It. Yeah, you would be gone.
And then, no. You would have, if you got on a TV show, for example, it's a good gig for a writer because you get to write for, 25 or plus episodes back in the day when it was like, on regular television and everything like that. And it would be a long gig. You'd be up for like, 5 or 6 seasons and everything like that, maybe more.
Yeah.
But nowadays, when it comes to streaming, TV shows, maybe one season lasts about 10 episodes. Not as many episodes you have to write.
True. Yeah.
And you also don't have this like, room of writers. Technically, you nowadays you kind of just get like 1 or 2 writers and you say, all right, we're gonna write the 10 episodes, get together, let's write the 10 episodes, here they are, boom, we're done.
Got it. Yeah.
Well, in the olden days, you will write the first 5 episodes of the season. As those are being filmed, you're still writing the next episodes and everything like that. So it was a nice.
That's not how
gig.
it's done anymore.
Not anymore. Not with our current world of how TV shows are done.
Stupid streaming.
That was another thing in that there wasn't this guarantee for writers to be on shows, or a certain amount of writers to be on shows, and that they wanted to increase that as well. Like they wanted to ask the producers, you have to have at least 5 writers on staff if you're, if you have a TV show and things like that. That's one of the many things. But the AI is a big
That's the biggest
subject
one, I think,
because it's also with the actors. So now the actors have come in on the strike, and one of the things that came up, I don't know if you guys are aware of this.
Oh, the background actors.
Yeah. So
dude,
the producers
the
were talking about scanning background actors.
So like it was because it was like a counterpoint. It was like, well, what we can do is we can bring you back, actors and background actors, but we're only going to pay you for the day. We were going to pay you, it was like, what was it, 150, 180 for the day. We're going to scan your face, and then the AI is going to shove you into the background of all these movies, and the studio's going to own your face.
Yeah.
Like
and
that
you will
was
not
their,
get compensation for those.
Yeah, that was their counter thing. Like, oh, well, we can give you this. And like, that's literally taking away everything. Like, what the fuck? How is that a...
Yeah,
like
so there's a lot of stuff about like how much whether actors can, how much is going to be compensated if, for example, an actor agrees to give their
essence,
image
likeness
to AI or whatever, because AI can now
soul.
Yeah, AI can now build you. And there's a great Black Mirror episode that came out. And if you haven't seen Black Mirror, yeah, it just came out. It came out.
Sam's going through puberty.
Who's the actor from Die Hard?
Bruce Willis.
I think he sold his likeness.
No.
Yeah. I don't know if he did or not.
Did.
But there's a great Black Mirror episode about this that I just watched, and it's just fucking totally relevant.
Is it this season?
Yeah, this season, this brand new season, in which Salma Hayek sells her likeness to...
all right, spoilers.
Spoilers.
I haven't seen this season.
I know she's in the new one, but I haven't seen it either.
I didn't.
So
It's
we'll
not
wait
really
there.
a spoiler.
No, Sam, you've already given too much information.
Yeah,
you
man.
gave an actress, you gave a plot. That's
a general idea.
Fine. I apologize.
Now I know this episode is going to not be what I expected. Thanks a lot. Man,
It's
anyway.
revealed pretty early in the episode. Okay.
No. If I know anything about Black Mirror, it's that every episode starts off exactly how
AI
you
is a
expect.
big topic in all of this.
Yeah.
Because AI is
The answer is no,
coming up
Noel.
and could take jobs from actors, in the sense that you could just scan their likeness and we just hire you for one day and goodbye. From now on, we're just going to use your likeness for the rest of the, for the rest. We don't have to hire anymore, basically.
Mm-hmm. So,
right?
and sorry, you were going to keep going with it.
Going,
no,
go
because mine was going to be more.
Respond.
So I will say, when this all started, my first gut instinct, my reaction, my knee-jerk reaction, if you will, was that of symbolizing the world's smallest violin. Oh, you actors and writers and work in the industry of Hollywood aren't getting more than a few million. That was my initial, right?
I feel like a lot of people,
You don't understand that
I'm a layman.
The majority of writers and actors are actually not millionaires.
Well, I didn't. Yeah, I see. So that's not something that first kind of processed in my brain. But then I started kind of thinking more about it and listening to more information on it. And it has to do more with the revenue that their work is bringing in and how much they're getting compensated because of that. From that.
And the royalties that they get.
The royalties that they get when the studio that they made this for
sells it again to another streamer.
Sells it again. Like then that's it. Now the contract is severed. We told you we were going to pay you X amount of money per episode when you were with Disney, but we sold that property to Paramount, and you don't have that contract with Paramount, so they don't have to pay you shit.
Yeah, it's
that sucks. So the protection for that shit is vital. So now what I'm trying to say is I've come around to now understand why the strike is happening, and fuck yeah, I support anyone who's trying to get their fucking due diligence. Their
shit.
And
then hearing too, like, of how like some actors, like, just because you're not a series regular, like, you make substantially less, and your face can be on a poster somewhere, and you get none of that. Like the studio is using that to draw people in, and you're not even being paid for that.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, there's some basic stuff that that is going on as well with, like, it's just pay increases and stuff, for like the minimum payment you would give an actor for a day, for example, or a writer to to make an edit on a script, for example. There's a lot of that stuff is also in it. But the big topics is this new technology stuff. Every time there's been a strike, if you've looked into the history, it's always been because of new technology, whether like TV coming into the fold and how to deal with that. Whether the internet coming into the fold and how to deal with that. Yeah. And now we have this new technology, AI and streaming in general. Now, I mean, even though that's happening for a while now, but just all of that coming together is why this strike is really happening, because we have this new technology and how we're going to deal with it and how we're going to, save jobs, because if AI is going to write the scripts from now on, because what the producers kind of want to do is this. They want to say, hey, like, I don't have to pay this writer anymore. I can just have AI give me that first draft, and then I pay you the cost of just what it is to make the second draft, which is a lot less than what it is to pay for the original draft or whatever.
Yeah, this whole thing has been fucking greed.
Yeah.
Greed up the ass.
It's almost like the economic system that exists
my God.
what gives these people the avenue. But I don't know if there's any connection, and just to not beat the dead horse any further.
It's all about that. It's all about that.
I'm just gonna say it's if there was some sort of a system that wouldn't allow for someone to try to prioritize profit over like workers' rights.
Kind of like how the actors are also private enterprise and they're also trying to make profit.
I mean,
this is basically capitalism versus capitalism, because the actors are trying to make as many millions of dollars as possible. And the producers are trying to make as many millions of dollars as possible.
What I'm hearing is that the consistent issue here is capitalism on both sides.
Yeah, whatever.
Got you,
whatever
Sam.
You say.
Ha
You know what I hate about you is that stupid mustache shit.
With this one that I can do this with? No, okay. So now in terms of how this is going to... okay, go for it. Go for it.
I was just going to go because I see Noel like clicking away furiously this whole time. You were looking up Bruce Willis and whether or not he sold his likeness. Yeah. You were coming across multiple conflicting
saying
articles.
Yes and no.
All the ones in September were saying he did. All the ones in October were saying he didn't. I don't know if you were catching the dates.
Yeah,
that's what I was looking for. But what about this guy?
So James Earl Jones sold his voice.
That's getting ahead of the game, kind of.
And that was all of Darth Vader that isn't Anakin, or Hayden Christensen.
Yeah,
and it's James. That's an AI technically.
No shit.
No fucking way.
Did he get good bank for his voice? How much would you charge for your voice?
He's not fucking dead.
Didn't he die?
No, he's not dead.
God,
James Earl Jones is not dead.
You're the worst.
I know.
No, I mean, he was found. He was found on Mustafar, and they were able to salvage his body by using a suit.
This brings up something that.
Sorry if I'm sweaty, by the way. I was wearing a suit.
It's alright. I'm very turned on by you right now.
Should I flex?
Yeah.
Look at it. It's Captain Jack Sparrow is just
that's Willy Wonka,
looking
man.
at me with those eyes.
That's Willy Wonka, bro. I think I know Willy Wonka when I see him.
So I mean, this strike is going to be very important. I mean, we're already kind of seeing it. What's happening like with the Flash, where they had Nicolas Cage as a CGI character, and I don't even know if they paid Nicolas Cage for his image.
That's a good question.
I would like to know, like, why didn't he just fucking show up? Because that was one of my gripes. Was like, why didn't it just get Nicolas Cage? Why you gotta show me a CGI version?
2023 Nicolas Cage doesn't quite look like 1990.
Use some fucking makeup and a wig and boom, you got him.
Only go so far.
Going into like how this is affecting everything.
Yes.
So I mean, when I first heard about the actor strike, that everyone walked out during the Oppenheimer premiere.
That's right.
Like, that was epic.
Yeah.
And to see that now they can't do promotion, or it's part of it.
They can't do any promotion. They can't.
And I get it. Go for it. I'm all for it. Seeing what's happening, and it's just how much that affects everything going forward. Like all the talk shows where people come on to discuss the movies. Yep. Like all those episodes are talk shows are
completely dead. They stopped airing.
Well, let me finish if I may. It's true. Yeah, because they're not writing. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But hot ones, like whatever. Whatever's not.
What do you mean?
Been, like any episode they would have had with an actor, they can't talk about their stuff. So they can talk about their hobbies maybe.
What do you mean?
But like, and one of the biggest things that has been happening that I've been hearing a lot about is how it's affecting Comic-Con. So
isn't Comic-Con, didn't it just happen
it's happening this weekend. It's happening this weekend.
Oh, this weekend.
So as if you guys know me in my life, I guess, you know that me and my wife have been going to Comic-Con for the past like a decade or more. And we go every year. And then this year we actually thought about not going already because of the writer's strike. And we knew there was a lot of things happening next year that were on pause that weren't going to be promoted this year like they normally would. So we knew there was going to be a huge lack of, what's the cool stuff they're showing this year.
Yeah.
And then when the actor strike happened, well, then like the only people showing up is just the directors, if that. Like, so it was like this whole thing of, you know what, let's. And there wasn't a lot of kid friendly stuff for Damon that I looked up off the offsites. And we're like, you know what, this is the first year we skipped since we started going.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's funny that you bring up the directors, but another thing that you may not know is that the DGA, which is Directors Guild, they actually did make a deal with the producers union. So they're actually not. So there was an anticipation that we would have both all three actors, writers, and directors on strike, but the directors actually cut a deal with the producers organization, and so they're not on strike. So that's why Nolan can go and promote his movies and everything like that. So this is kind of unprecedented actually, because we haven't really had both of these industries, both of these.
Not since I saw on the Wikipedia page, I think it was like 1990.
No, before that. Yeah.
Oh,
like,
the 6 was the 9 was a 6.
Yeah, no.
I see it now.
You need glasses.
So better glasses. I wear contacts.
Yeah, then you need better. You need glasses and contacts and binoculars. Get some binoculars. So, do you remember I think it was the writers' strike that happened in the early 2000s, 2007? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I remember because it fucking killed Heroes.
It killed Heroes. It killed Justice League Mortal. That was going to be like the start of the DC films.
My biggest
Conan was
twirling
his ring because he
I remember that I think it was Letterman, because he owned his own studio or some shit like that, was able to pay his own writers appropriately, and his show was able to continue going. One of the talk shows was able to, but that was the last time that I remember any kind of strike in this industry having this big of an impact, which was...
This is going to have a bigger impact
Heroes.
Because both actors and writers...
This is the biggest interruption that happened to American television and film since COVID.
Yeah.
And it's going to be delayed. And it's going to be a delayed. Because right now, you're like, whatever, I still got to watch a new episode.
We're not seeing the effects just now.
Well, I'm seeing the effects because I follow the award season, and the award season starts with the festivals that happen in the fall. And a lot of those festivals are actually might not happen because a lot of the actors are not going to be there to promote the films and things like that.
It'll be boring.
So there's already been some movies that have pulled out of the festivals. That are getting delayed.
They want to wait
year.
for their Academy Award.
That makes sense.
The festival is where you debut
because they know they made their movie to be Oscar bait, and like, oh well, then we're just gonna pull it.
No. You're the thing is that because of the Oscars, these movies can exist. If it wasn't for the Oscars, this movie would not exist at all.
Right? No. So, do you think that this will have that much of an immediate effect, where like movies that were supposed to come out?
They're talking about delaying Dune. I don't know if you've heard
already.
That. They're talking about delaying Dune.
What I'm asking.
And there are certain things though that are like have been able to exist outside. Well, for example, like House of the Dragon, they're still filming because it's not
British
Europe.
Union.
Exactly. So there are things like that are still happening. Like British TV is still going to be happening. If anything, this might actually cause a deeper look into international film and television. And there's already has been a lot more of that within the last couple of years. You have Squid Games. You have all these excellent South Korean horror movies that I've been a big fan of for years now, but that are
Japanese too.
Yeah, Japanese as well, that have become more and more on the mainstream, and British films, I feel, which are a lot of Americans watch too, or don't realize they're British half the time. So I think it's going to cause more of a... we're going to look for our content elsewhere.
I hope that they don't delay those I hope Dune Part 2 doesn't get delayed because I've been waiting for that one. I really want to see that.
I mean, but that's still... How far away is that?
That's in November.
Yeah, it was supposed to happen in November.
And they're talking about delaying it, though. They're talking about moving it to 2024, just like they were doing with COVID, where like some of these big blockbuster movies, they're not going to get the promotion.
Or stream them.
Yeah.
No.
That would be the worst.
I don't think they're going to do that again.
It's just the promotion is a big deal.
And it's like millions of dollars to spend.
But honestly, I feel like the producers, if they were smart, they'd be like, "Hey, we're gonna save some money on some marketing.
That's true. We don't have to pay the actors
for these big movies."
Yeah,
sorry,
people will go watch it regardless.
Actors and writers.
As of one day ago, Dune 2, Ice to Push. Oh, fuck you, misleading. Fucking.
Yeah.
Easy,
they're thinking about it. They haven't done anything. They're thinking about it.
What are those considers? Fuck you. I gotta hate that clickbait shit.
breathe.
Ooh. No, but it's not clickbait because it's a real thing that is happening within the industry.
It's clickbait for people that don't read articles and just click.
As to whether they want to delay or not, because it is it's a real thing that can happen.
What I'm asking is, do you think there'll be an even more immediate impact? So, for example, I just pulled this up. Blue Beetle is coming out mid-August.
14th, I believe.
And if this is still going on by then, do you think they will still move forward with that opening date, knowing that they won't be able to rely on...
That's a very unique situation with the DC world.
Because it's far away enough to where they can probably still try and push it back.
With DC, unfortunately, I think ever since they made the announcement with James Gunn and the new universe that was happening, they stopped caring about everything that was on their slate because they shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah,
and the overwhelming.
Clearly, they stopped caring. Yeah, the Flash was
the audience, the general audience was like, why watch it if it doesn't belong to a universe, type thing.
Yeah,
and I feel like this.
They don't care. They don't care. But I thought Blue Beetle was supposed to be part of the James Gunn.
That's loose. And even James Gunn himself said like, oh well, Blue Beetle's the first hero, but the first movie is Superman Legacy.
Oh, got it.
So I think it was more of like if it's accepted well, they would have like included him, and if not,
it's a way of saying sure he can fucking exist in my universe, but he's not gonna be in them.
Yes.
But sure, my movies will take place in this universe. Fucking whatever.
He can be in this corner for now.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought Superman Legacy because and so we can talk about what the stuff that's in production is being delayed because everything is shut down.
Yeah.
Yep.
And one thing that people should think about is that this isn't just affecting the actors and the writers because all the production is shut down. It's also affecting everybody that works on production.
Yep.
All the makeup artists, the costume designers,
caterers,
everybody,
production assistants, everything.
The
guy running to get coffee.
Yeah, the gaffers and everything like that is being affected because they are not working. They're all not working right now because it's shut down. Superman Legacy they were starting to cast. They can no longer cast anymore because actors cannot send audition videos and stuff like that to.
They cast like 5 people and that was it. Like
they were casting. They were casting people.
They were announcing it regularly for a while.
And now they stopped all that.
Hawk Girl.
Deadpool 3 stopped production. I saw some pictures and whatnot. Hugh Jackman with his yellow
suit.
Overring.
Fucking looked amazing. Amazing.
Noel's not even paying attention right now.
He's over there watching deep fake
Kendrick
videos.
Lamar or something like that.
Picture of Wolverine toy from our toy episode.
Oh yeah, I put the wrong toy. I meant to send the right photos to Noel, and he just Googled shit.
That's more on you.
I know it is.
Ooh, I love that Deadpool humping Spider-Man picture. That's a great.
Is this what you're talking about?
Nah, that's a fan thing.
I like that. Put that.
Yeah, it's totally a fan thing. Come on,
Damn it!
Look, come on, think about it.
AI must have done
Uploaded August 17th, 2002. That says everything.
2002.
I wish that was real.
That's a 2022. Jesus, you need fucking binoculars, man.
Anyway,
neither Spider-Man or Deadpool were out in 2002. Why would you think that
Spider-Man
was
out in 2002? I misread the 0.
Okay.
Spider-Man was in 2002. That's when the first movie came out.
Not that one though.
I do want to say something because so for the most part I side with the actors and the writers. I think they're on the right side of this, but there is some stuff that the writers are like demanding that might not actually be realistic because of the current environment of how we consume our media nowadays. So when I was talking about like having certain amount of writers on staff for certain shows and things like that, like the producers are really fighting back on that because they believe, and I think they're right on this part, that they are going to be paying for writers that are not going to be doing anything.
Got it. Yeah.
So like
just sitting there and be like, what if he was a chef?
We only need the 2 writers to write these 10 episodes. We needed 5 writers when we had to write 25 episodes, but we're only writing 10, and these 2 writers can write it. Why do we need to hire these 3 extra writers?
Right.
And the writers want to say, no, you need to have 5 writers if you're gonna do a 10 episode series or something like that. That's like kind of like their terms. Like depending on how many episodes your series is, you should have this many writers on staff or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, clearly there's gonna have to be a mediator for all this.
Yeah, there's a middle ground there, I think, when it comes to those kinds of topics. Yeah, and they get a little bit more in detail as to like the
smaller parts.
But then when it comes to the AI stuff, it's really interesting. That's where like I find it so interesting of what's happening and where we're heading towards.
Yeah.
And like how much leeway they give to the producers here could end up impacting how movies are made in the future. Like we could have
holograms. I feel like the next
one. We were talking about like best CGI performance by a likeness of Salma Hayek or whatever.
Yeah. Christopher Reeves in the Flash movie gets an Oscar. Yeah. And today the presenter
how'd you word it? The best holographic performance of this year's Academy Award.
When I hear this
Tupac
stuff,
Shakur.
that's what's on the shopping block here. Like whether we're going to have a future where we can have a whole movie where there's no real actors and just fucking AI generated images or whatever, or we're gonna have a movie where we have
the same fucking group of actors. We don't need any new ones.
That's kind of what's already happening.
And that's exactly just being. Sorry to interrupt you, Sam. I just realized.
No. This is good.
But that's exactly what's happening. Is that because of the whole nostalgia factor now, people don't. There used to be a time where a movie would be released and it would be maybe an actor that wasn't that well known, or they just got the best person out of the audition block. They didn't give it to a specific person because, this is the guy that people will know from those other movies. Let's give him this side part. They went with people that actually did a good job delivering the performance. And I feel like for that reason, all you're going to see now is movies with all the actors that have already existed. No more new big actors. No more. This is the newest talent. Who is this kid?
Oh, I see what you mean.
And if you listen to that Dan Murrell episode that I recommended, he talks about Matt Damon and Ben Affleck and how they got their start.
Yeah.
And he said they got their start by being background actors. And like they went from job to job, going job to that, being the struggling actor that I'm sure the majority of actors are in this world. And then they finally got like a break and they started, getting like a better, part and everything like that because they've been seen by so many people and whatnot. But if this gets through where a producer or a studio can just like, scan your likeness and never use you again, that path is basically blocked.
That's stepping stone.
The Matt Damon, Ben Affleck path is blocked. Like these are world-renowned actors that started off as being background actors, and if you block that path,
it's Jason Bourne and Batman right there.
Opportunities are gone.
Those are necessary stepping stones, and the likeliness, the chances of someone going from I'm a theater performer in my university to you just got casted for Christopher Nolan's next movie. That's not going to happen. The reason why all these things are important is because those are stepping stones. You go from being a theater performer in college to maybe landing a commercial job. And then because you have experience with commercials, now you get the background job. And maybe you get a line in this next one. And these are all necessary stepping stones to get to that level of stardom. If you take all that shit away because you're using AI and you're using fucking holograms, then now it just becomes even more impossible for talent to make it to that point. Yeah. So I'm hoping that all of this shit gets resolved in the best kind of way where these writers and actors can get paid what they're due while also ensuring that that the future of movies and television is secure, because I would fucking hate to lose out on this quality of television and movies. And I'm rambling now, so I apologize. You guys go ahead.
I think you're not rambling. Arturo, any last thoughts before we...
No, I feel like we covered it well. I know you wanted to do this as an impromptu Zoom episode, like as it happened. And we were trying to figure out scheduling, and we just left it for tonight. And in my head, I'm like, well, it's still going to be relevant. But then the thing is, like, it's still very, very relevant.
It's still going.
Like, it's still going.
We're still going to see
I'm sure it's still going to be happening as this episode comes out.
Did you guys see that Universal Studios trimmed the trees down where they were protesting?
No.
To now there's no shade.
Oh,
so there used to be these trees that were big and green and full of branches, and they offered shade for these protesters. Well, the property owned by Universal Studios happened to trim those trees down.
Oh shit! Yeah,
down to
Universal
branches. Look at that.
Investigation.
Branches. So now there's no shade for these poor fucking
shit.
Look at that shit. You see this shit? So this is why people are so fucking pissed.
We're pointing over here.
Yeah. It's right here right now. But this is why people are so fucking pissed, is because of these fucking tactics that these and it comes down to like your Bob Igers.
And there's that's good that you brought that
Bob
up.
Iger.
Thank you.
Because
I appreciate
I love
it.
Shotgun's rant on
he
that.
made statement about like how he thought like, oh, they're ruining the industry and everything like that. Yeah, he's kind of like enemy number one right now.
He's the Sauron,
because he's a Disney Plus with you guys. You Disney sympathizers.
I saw the video
that's
that
who you're supporting over there.
let me finish. I saw the video that of Sean Gunn.
I want to let you finish.
Oh yeah, Sean Gunn puts him on blast.
Yeah, and it was like, and it's like, how many years ago you're making 30 times more than your lowest, and now you're making 400 times. Like, when is that gonna be enough? Like, what the fuck? And it was like, that's just the way it is. Now, well, that fucking sucks.
That's just wild because they're gonna have to work together. I mean, not together in the fucking direct sense, but he's gonna be still under Disney. Actually, no, because James Gunn is DC, so he's just gonna go with his brother.
He's with Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
whatever route they could have continued with the Guardians. He's on that team, but now,
but still, damn, that's fucking wild. No, yeah, man, I'm more power to them. I guess
there was something I was gonna say, and you.
I think that was our episode.
No, wait.
The trees. You were gonna point out the trees.
Subscribe,
I was
like.
gonna talk about it, but then you talked about the trees, and then it like totally like.
Oh, it threw you off. I'm sorry.
What do you think we're gonna get more of next year? Is it gonna be reality TV?
That's what I was gonna talk about.
Hey,
not reality TV. I hope not. For fuck's sakes, please, God. This is what
Documentaries.
the writers back.
Influencers are gonna get their own shows.
No, what I wanted to say as a guy who follows the awards season, so one of the things that actors can't do is they can't campaign, can't campaign for themselves. They can't go out and say like, "Hey, vote for me."
Hey, I'm an Italian. Vote for me. That's basically what it sounded like.
But they might also as part of their strike not go to the Oscars, and the Oscars is a possibility that they could get canceled as a result if none of the actors and the
which
and
means
the writers
Oscar
want to
party.
go. I know.
No,
it'd be horrible.
Now it's personal.
Getting in the way of my Jello shots.
They could still go. I mean, this is just some talk. This is all rumors and talk about what could happen. Because the festivals are starting to go down, and that's like the starting of the award season. And then as if the campaigns don't happen, everything like that, like what's gonna happen when Oscars come along and everything. So I'm really watching this because, as you know, I'm a big Oscar guy, and I love the Oscars, and to cancel the Oscars, which I don't think they've ever been canceled in their history. I think maybe World War II was the last.
No, even then they still did it from the bunkers. They did it from the bunkers.
Actually, I think you're right. Yeah. There hasn't been a fucking year where
there's never been. Because the people need entertainment, damn it.
Exactly.
Nicole Kidman tells me that people need to go to the movie theaters to feel the sensations of movies.
Because in this room, I forget something they are. I forget.
Hurt just feels different.
There's a video I saw. It was a comedy video. It was a satire on what's happening. And it's like the producers just like laughing at everyone on strike and this and that. Yeah. It's like, I'm so goddamn rich. Who gives a shit? Like this and that. And then hold on, it's like, and then they're like, and they think they're gonna do things like, ha ha ha. Well, imagine if people stopped watching things, and then they stopped streaming, and then no one collected anymore, and then they're like, that's never gonna happen. But it's
it's kind of
that is how.
Wrong. Yeah, I think that's why they're fighting this for so long.
As an audience, and that really is. It's really on us whether we want to. How we support is by sometimes not consuming. Not consuming the stuff that's given to us. So I think
it's true. I mean,
you're damn right. If we keep giving them money, they're gonna it doesn't matter. We're still making the money that we're making. Who gives a fuck?
The internet loves to hate on the Fast and Furious movies, and yet people keep driving out in droves to see them. Well, then. Clearly, there's an audience where people are still going. So if people are still consuming, or for example, like the live action Disney films, there's a lot of mixed feelings on the.
But they make the dollar.
But they make the money. Exactly.
They make the money.
So it's as long as they keep making money, they're going to keep releasing stuff.
Yeah. So stop fucking consuming the goddamn products you don't like. Fuck.
So go back to watching your physical copies of movies, DVDs, VHSs, which actually leads us to a future episode.
There is? Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't want to jump ahead, but it's coming.
It might. Okay.
All right. Well, I think that's good. Show your support for the writers and the actors by hitting that like button. And subscribing to our YouTube page.
Oh, we did it.
We're not part of any of that union.
We just solved this problem. Sam, you son of a bitch. You just solved the whole problem right
here's
now.
the thing. Like I said, watch those Dan Moore episodes. There is actually an organization that you can donate to that you can help out actors and writers who are struggling. Not the Matt Damons and the DiCaprios of the world, but the real. They're also real actors. I'm not saying that. But the actors and writers who are struggling because there are many of them, and movies are made by a lot of people. So there is actually somewhere you can do if you want to help out in terms of monetary wise. But if you want to help out in terms of what you can do, like we talked about, you could actually stop consuming these things. I'm still going to go watch Dune if it comes out. But
I'll be carrying a sign with me if I do.
Right?
A nice big poster that says, support the writers and actors.
This is a different topic, but whatever. Anyways, we're Morons Mince.
Have a bright day.
We made a lot of sense today.
Have a bright day.
And please don't go on strike on me, because
Yeah.
I'll just let you starve like the producers are gonna do because I don't pay you anything anyway.
Wait, why are you directing everything at me right now?
No. I feel like you're the first one to strike.
Why would I strike?
You look like a striking kind of guy.
Yeah.
Wait, you're not. Now you're making it seem like it's a derogatory thing.
Yeah.
A second ago, you were like, support the strikers. And now you're like, you look like the kind of person that would strike.
Sam over here, the true capitalist.
As a leader, I guess, of this month,
you're
makes
probably
sense.
against these strikers, man.
No, I'm not. I actually support them. I think they're I think they're mostly right. I'm 99. I'm 90%
I will say
on their
the
side.
conditions here are well. I am supplied with chips and beer.
You are,
and my episodes ideas have been made into actual episodes.
And
you're gonna be the striker.
Contractual obligation of 2 hugs. Hey, man. I'm. This is my place, so I can't really go anywhere.
All right,
guys.
We've really spread this ending as long as we could, and until next time,
have a
bright day.
I like it.